Hey everybody, this is Josh. Welcome to the V, week 27. It is a best of 7 series for $100 and the chance to return next week against a brand new challenger. Here we have, it says GoSu.OsToJiY, but he's actually part of It's GoSu along with Poke Bunny and Huangsin and a bunch of other really good players. He is the purple Zerg up in the top right, and down here in the bottom left corner of Crevasse we have, it says TD.Attero, but it's actually Team.Attero. He is our current champion on the V. Taking out Rain Spades, and just last week he took out Complexity Trimaster. So 2 Terran opponents in the last 2 weeks. This time we found a wonderful Zerg player for him to try his luck against. But he did win those 2 series, 4-3 and 4-1, so we have seen a lot of great games out of Attero so far. OsToJiY, a little bit of a wild card. A lot of people still don't know much about him. He did participate in the BattleNet North American Invitational for a chance at one of those BlizzCon tournament spots, but Sheth and Select actually ended up taking those 2 spots. Too bad for OsToJiY. Maybe he'll go to BlizzCon anyway and attend. I just found out recently I'm going to get to go to BlizzCon, so I'm super excited about that. But if you didn't know, the V happens each and every week. It is a $100 best of 7 series, and it's hosted by Complexity Gaming, sponsored by Creative Sound Blaster, PNY, and CupadUSA.com. And I cast it each and every week. I'm Josh Suth, aka AskJoshy, on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube.com/AskJoshy. You can check out all my stuff after the cast if you don't mind. But yeah, we do this every week here. Attero is our champion. Rain Perfect just came online. He actually was one of our previous champions, but I try to get as many good North American players as I can. Europeans are a little bit tougher to schedule, especially when the really good Europeans are all going over to Korea recently. It can be very difficult to get them on to play each and every weekend. So big thanks to Attero and OsToJiY for playing for us. But it looks like OsToJiY is going to go hatch first, of course. About what you would expect here on Crevasse when you have this little backdoor base. There's only 6 mineral patches here and a single Vespene geyser for him to work with, but it is much safer as the only entrance is actually through your own main. The natural ramp is just single wide here, but once you blow up that destructible debris, you have a big fat ramp to try and defend. Attero on the other side also expanding here pretty quickly, again, just because that expansion is so easy to take. Pretty much everybody does it. So if you are watching the live stream right now on twitch.tv/complexity, please go tell all your buddies to come watch if they want to see some great PvZ action. JTV did have a little bit of trouble just a moment ago, but streams are coming back online, so if they're looking for something to watch, we've got the V right here, week 27, in full swing. It looks like OsToJiY is going to transfer some drones here. And if you are watching these VODs on youtube.com/complexityinsider, just know that you could watch live at twitch.tv/complexity. All you have to do is go there and click the little follow button, and you'll be notified anytime that we go online. I've been doing it on Sunday recently. It used to be Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, but I actually moved out to the West Coast in June, and that time is really no longer viable, so it's been pretty much Sunday every week since I got out here, just so you guys know. But Attero versus OsToJiY, still not a ton happening. OsToJiY still scouting around. He's going to find Attero here soon in the bottom left position. He sent Zergling and an Overlord to the other 2 spots, but he is eventually going to find Attero here and see this cannon out in front. So 1 Zergling goes down, a 3rd hatchery goes down here for OsToJiY. He's making 4 drones at a time and getting Zergling speed. There is no actually additional tech at all. He's still just working off of 1 gas and not even harvesting out of that. So he's going mass ling, sort of Ice Fisher Zerg, something we've seen out of StarCraft in the past. Just lots of drones and queens and perhaps spine crawlers, Zerglings to start things off. He just got enough gas there for that Zergling speed, and that is it. Just not quite the same as StarCraft style, but pretty similar. Destructible debris getting chewed upon by this lone Zergling. I wonder how long Attero is going to allow that to happen. It looks like he's getting a Stargate up inside his main, so he's actually going to go for very quick tech here, working off of 3 assimilators total. A 2nd Stargate is coming up now. Makes me wonder if he's going to start cranking out those Phoenixes, or if he's going to get a couple of Void Rays up quickly and try to do that, a lot of damage here to OsToJiY, who doesn't really have a lot of anti-air. He's only got a couple of Queens, and Evolution Chamber is coming up now, but OsToJiY has to imagine that Stargates are a possibility when he sees this cannoned front. Obviously, there's something in the base that Attero doesn't want him to see. 2nd Photon Cannon coming online. Not sure why that Zergling just poked in. He knew a cannon would 2-shot it, so it's kind of strange, but oh well. just a little bit of a misstep. 6 more Lings running around through the middle of the map, dropping them off at these Xel'Naga towers just so he can hold all the vision of the map. Attero still working off of these 2 bases. It looks like OsToJiY is up to a stunning 39 drone count, although Attero's still ahead because of double chrono boost. Overlord is actually going to be able to scout in this base and see a Phoenix and a Stargate right away. If he does see the second Stargate, oh man, he knows it's coming now. +1 air weapons being researched, 2 Stargates, both creating Phoenixes right now. And this Overlord is not going to be long for this world, especially if one of these other Phoenixes pops out right on top of it. So he does know about the 2 Stargates. He can infer that this Nexus is up and running just based on the number of stuff he's scouted. And now these Phoenixes are going to be on their merry way, running around, trying to kill off spare Overlords, trying to make a beeline actually to this 3rd base, it looks like, but Spore Crawlers are being planted. We'll see if the Phoenixes... Oh wow, they actually use a Graviton Beam on that Xel'Naga Tower... Xel'Naga Tower Zergling. Oh, Attero picks up the Queen, wastes the energy for Graviton Beam, but gets out of there because he sees the first Spore Crawler and the second one about to be complete. So OsToJiY, good scouting time there. Did manage to get Spore Crawlers up at all 3 of his bases, at least those 2. There's a Spore Crawler in there. And Hydralisk Den and Infestation Pit both coming up after that lair gets completed, so he's going to have some good anti-air options here in a moment. Robotics Facility and 2 more gateways being constructed right now for Attero. Single Void Ray already up. 4 Phoenixes here to lift any anti-air threats that he may spot out of OsToJiY. Roach Warren also coming up now. That's kind of interesting. We'll see what he's planning to do with that. Another huge wave of drones coming in now, but Attero is still ahead on Harvesters. He is going to just sit there through the Spore Crawler just so he can kill that Queen and perhaps an Overlord. No, he is actually going to book it out of there before losing a single Phoenix. Void Ray on the other side, not able to tangle with this Queen with the Spore Crawler so nearby. Overlords getting shot down out of range of the Spore Crawler and the Queen sitting here in the back. 2 Overlords eat it pretty hard there. That's 200 minerals, a lot of time, and 2 larvae that are going down the drain. 300 minerals, 3 larvae, etc., etc. And of course he is going to have to replace those, so a lot of time spent getting those replacement Overlords up. And now you see OsToJiY is actually supply blocked 80/78. Attero's getting all this additional production up right now. 4 more cannons as well, kind of interesting. Oh, he's just planting them all around this 3rd base now. Phoenix is still roaming around. One of them is quite injured, but that's okay. He's got those shields regenerating. His Void Ray sitting pretty with 2 kills and nearly full health. Transferring some more probes now over to that 3rd base as it gets finished. Destructible debris was knocked down, so he has a little bit more freedom of movement between his bases. OsToJiY did put up a macro hatch after getting that 3rd base up and running, and has taken a drone lead here finally in this game. You can see the mineral income and gas income both favoring OsToJiY, and that supply is actually 10 ahead. So Attero will need some good positioning, or at least he'll need to wait it out long enough for his armies to be on even scale there. Big fungal growth. It looks like all these Phoenixes could actually go down. They're going to try to get another Overlord kill, but 5 Phoenixes just bit the dust there to a very well-placed fungal and Hydralisk combination. OsToJiY on a roll now. Those 5 Phoenixes were huge to lose for Attero. He's only got a Void Ray really left in the air, and here it is. There's no way he's going to get out of there alive with all those fungal growths and Hydralisk on the ground. Void Ray eats the dust as well, and now Attero, I'm not sure what you're going to do, buddy. You're throwing up 4 more gateways, but you don't really have the upgrades necessary. You've got +1 weapons on the ground. Zergling's going to come in here and just poke the front so he can see what he's up against. Obviously, I don't think he's going to want to attack with this force from that angle. He's going to perhaps try to break down these destructible rocks instead and come at it from a little bit softer spot here. All these cannons on the right side, no cannons here in the middle, just a free Colossus and a Zealot. No charge upgrade, no blink like you see in Attero's PVT. OsToJiY may have found a soft spot here. 2 Colossi pretty much exposed. They don't have extended thermal lance yet, but they will in a moment. There's 3 Colossus now total in the fight. Fungal growth goes down and damages some of the shields. Infestor gets lost there. Colossus focusing down the roaches. Should be hitting those Infestors. They're going to do a ton of damage if he lets them roam around, but there go the Infestors, and now these 3 Colossi are sitting pretty. There's no risk of Neural Parasite or fungal growth or anything like that, and they shred those Hydralisk and Zerglings as they run in. So Attero fighting back a little bit there after losing that huge Air Force. His ground positioning there was quite good, so Attero still in this for sure. 127 against 137 supply. Both of their harvester counts are very, very high, and Attero is actually taking a 4th base now. Attero's been working on his macro, so we'll see if he's got what it takes to keep up with that Zerg macro of OsToJiY. He's also got his 4th base pretty much up and running as he transfers all those drones and drops the extractor there on that Vespene Geyser. Zergling gets taken out of the Zelnaga tower, so OsToJiY knows exactly the positioning of Attero's units. There are Corruptors starting to be made now. I don't see any in the air just yet, but Neural Parasite and Corruptors both being researched and produced there for OsToJiY. Those are good counters to those 5 Colossi, so Attero will need to do a ton of damage with these guys before all that stuff gets ready to go. So here he goes. He's going to press in Fungal Growth on the Stalkers. They don't have Blink, but they do a lot of damage. Fungal does anyway. So, yeah, Attero, not a bad exchange there. Picks off a queen and a handful of roaches. Not sure if he snagged any of those infestors, but he does have a pylon very nearby, so he can continue to warp in stalkers and zealots. It looks like he is going to be able to take out this hatchery most likely before the corruptors are ready to go. Here are the corruptors now. 5 corruptors going to hold up the health bars here so we can watch those colossi, but they are shredding through all those ground forces still. There goes another colossus down. 4 remain. The corruptors are being focused now by the stalkers. 4 colossi still in relatively good health. This looks pretty bad for OsToJiY as he is falling lower and lower in supply. He used to have a lead. Looks like this last Colossus will actually survive in the red health. Hatchery goes down. All the ground forces of OsToJiY are now gone, and Attero is sitting pretty with his 1-1 upgrade ground force here. Still marching through. Only roaches in production now for OsToJiY. He just doesn't have the gas to continue that Corruptor production. There are 3 of them in the air here. They might be able to snag this Colossus in the red health. Yes, they do, but another Colossus shows up to take his place, and still more Stalkers warping in here. There's the GG from OsToJiY, and Attero is going to take game 1 after losing that big air force and fighting his way back with a very large ground force. So good job there for Attero. Let's go into game 2 and see what happens next.